entire staff is fascinated by our next guest because she is a former nun who's been married 3 times, and now she says she's got a new concept for marriage. Who could not be fascinated by this? Her name is Rene Reid Yarnell. We're glad to have you here, Rene.
Great to be here, Ann.
And now she's been a successful businesswoman as well, but the next most interesting thing is the ex-nun who marries an ex-priest and marries an ex-minister and marries, in fact, a 3rd time. What is this all about?
I married the ex-priest twice. I was in love with him.
Oh.
Deeply in love with him.
Aww.
And you know what all of that taught me? I came through the ending of religious life. I've come through the ending of some of my periods in building Catholic communities. I've been through the marriages and ended them. And what I've come to understand is that the ending of a relationship does not have to equate to a failed relationship. Mm-hmm. You know how we say that today? If a marriage ends, it's a failed marriage. And I'm challenging that in my book. I do not think that my experience, my 12 years with the former priest or my 7 years with the former minister were anything but successful relationships where I really gained, really grew, really developed myself as a person and gave to them.
So you got past the guilt part, because a lot of people feel terribly guilty that they should have been able to make it work, that they say, make it work.
I think that it's a different paradigm that we need to substitute. Right now, look at what we operate with. We go into a marriage and promise our partner till death do us part, and if we accomplish that, we succeed. If we fail at that, it's a failed marriage. There's another value that we're missing here. What about the value that we promise to love each other and to grow together, to enhance each other's personal and spiritual growth? That's just as important of a value system to me in a relationship. So when I evaluate my own relationships by that criteria, I had beautiful, beautiful marriages. Yes, they ended, but they weren't without value.
Do you still hold up for yourself the idea of a marriage until death do you part as being the ideal, the thing to aim for?
I don't know if you've seen the latest census statistics, but we're seeing that marriage, as we know it, is growing at the rate of 2 or 3 or 4%, and that partnering is growing at the rate of 50%. Well, what's going on here? Is this a demoralizing of America? Is this a loss of family values? I think that among more enlightened couples, what we're seeing is that there's a search for another kind of partnership. I call it a spiritual bonding. You know, I now bring all of the time that I had in my previous relationships with me, and because I've gone through the process to let go, to forgive and ask for forgiveness, I'm now open and ready for new relationships. But I believe my next relationship will be more of a spiritual partnering, and they're going to get the best of Rene as I enter into that partnership to make a promise to grow with someone and to develop myself as a person and help them do the same.
Well, it's a very interesting outlook. I'm not sure what the nuns would say, having been raised by nuns. I don't know. But it's fun to meet you, and the name of the book is Till Death Do Us Part. It's kind of an autobiography, actually, rather than a how-to. Interesting reading. ReneReidYarnell.com is her website.